with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee.
And it's your girl, Chella H.
It's your girl, Chella H, Big H.
Big
Not
H.
the lowercase. What up?
Straight out of Chicago. She's
That's
in town
right.
with me today, guest hosting this week.
Yes, I am here.
And, it also happens to be Maternal Health Week starting April 11th. Right, so we're going to have Latham Thomas on the show today. She's a doula, but she also trains other doulas, and she has great information. You know what a doula is?
Yeah, somebody who give birth to babies, right?
Well, they don't actually give birth
I
to
mean, help them pull a baby out.
But that's amazing. That's a surrogate.
Yeah.
But
You
yes,
know what I mean.
I know what you meant, girl. But we are going to have her on the show today to talk about that for Maternal Health Week. Such an important conversation. And of course, we have so much to talk about. I was with Chella last night and we were watching everything unfold with the City Girls. So we'll be talking about that this morning.
That was crazy.
All right. And in the meantime, let's spread some love and positivity. Let's shine a light. 800-292-5150 is the number. Call us up and let us know who you want to spread some love to. It's way up.
We gon' light the block up. I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
All right, Miss Independent Chella's here with me today, guest
It's
hosting.
your girl, Chella H, Big H.
Not the lowercase.
And let's get to shine a light on them. Now, today I want to shine a light on this app. It's called Her Ride. It's a rideshare platform that focuses on women's safety. It was co-founded in 2019 by Jillian Anderson and Divine Stark. So what they do is they provide rideshare services just like Uber, just like Lyft. But women, a lot of times, there's issues with safety. Sometimes women can be uncomfortable using certain rides at night. And so according to Jillian Anderson, she said there were a lot of women that were hesitant with riding with men at night using Uber and Lyft. I realized that this was just a consistent problem that those platforms did not have any intention on solving. So I decided to solve it for myself. And it operates exclusively in Atlanta. 250 active drivers, 19,000 plus users, and 33,000 app downloads. And so that's huge. And they also got a contract with the airport in Atlanta, which is a big deal. So shout out to them and to Her Ride. Now, who do you guys want to shine a light on? 800-292-5150. Dolly, who you want to shine a light on?
I want to shine a light on my husband. He took me out this weekend. He's so sweet. We had a great time, and he just deserves a light.
Okay. So where did you guys go?
We went to Atlantic City. We went to see the show 50 Cent performed at the casino.
Oh, that's dope. What a nice, fun weekend.
Yeah, he was so sweet. So that was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Shine a Light, 800-292-5150 in case you couldn't get through and still want to spread that love. And when we come back, Yeetie. We'll start it off with the City Girls. That's JT and Young Miami. We'll decipher what was happening yesterday with the two of them going back and forth on social media. It's way up.
They say it's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip,
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that yee tea.
All right, it's way up. I'm Angela Yee. Chella's here.
It's your girl, Chella H, Big H.
Not the lowercase.
And let's get into this Yeetie. I mean, Young Miami and JT, I would not have thought that they would have went on Twitter to air out whatever differences that they had. It feels like they definitely need in-person sit down
for sure
conversation. Now, Young Miami wrote, B been sneak dissing me for weeks, and I ain't say ish. What a be mad at me for? And I ain't jealous of a soul. I'm always like, go, B, go. I'll clap for everybody. I show love to everybody. It ain't a B I haven't shown love to. And then JT said, oh, Miss Mama, this your last day playing dumb. I know I come off crazy, but never in my life did no whack ish to this girl. She literally enjoys seeing me being dragged. When people show me love, she goes crazy and call it a hate train. But like I said, we can sit and talk about it. It'll be too much for me to tweet. I would like a sit down. Carisha, please. And this time leave Santana home. And then Santana was like, how I got dragged into it. Because he let people know he is friends with both of them. Now, the other thing that Young Miami said is that JT was dissing her in songs. She said, you made 2 whole songs dissing me and I still rapped your ish with my chest and show love. So what's the real problem here? Now, the 2 songs that she says were about her are No Bars and Sideways. Here's No Bars.
I'm a real big dog. What Scrappy do? Doing all that wifey, knowing he don't f with you.
I don't know that has to be about her at all. And like that. And here's Sideways.
So phony, got me looking at him sideways. It'll never be the same mother, the old days.
Well, I mean, if it's prior issues, and as a rapper, you kind of know, like, when shots being thrown.
Right.
I mean, it ain't facts, but, you know.
And certain things you say, people may interpret it in a certain way. But Young Miami said, you let the internet put in your head that I'm jealous of you when I'm the one that always pushed us. You have resentment towards too, and that's okay. And, JT said the internet told you that which songs is about you. The one saying it's City Girl-ish even when it ain't City Girl-ish. That was released under City Girls, or the one saying riding solo, but I'm still in a group. Get your phone back from whoever this is, baby. Don't play with me. And so at the end of it all, though, they did, and I guess they did speak as they should have. Because sometimes you go online and start doing that, and fans start taking sides. They start really putting you against each other. You start thinking things that maybe you wouldn't have thought if it wasn't for people saying things. And I've heard people say that all the time.
That's the worst.
Starts a lot of beefs.
That's the worst thing.
So there's a lot of things that happened and transpired, but then Young Miami said, Jatavia, we just got off the phone. I'm so confused now. We back to the internet, because JT said after they spoke, if I'm ever mad, I have a reason to be behind closed doors. You have done stuff to me that you think I should just get over. You never come to my defense when I would have literally took a bullet for you. When CP popped off, I was... and she goes on to talk about the things that she's done. And JT also said this tweet was before the phone conversation. So I don't like to see them arguing. And you know what? Arguments are going to happen. Yeah. Especially when you're on the road with somebody, you're working with them all the time. People are weighing in. That's why you got to handle it in-house.
Right.
And I was saying this yesterday. People have to come up with a way to, when you form a group or you do anything with other people, when we get into it, because you will, when you're working with somebody,
eventually,
how do we want to handle it? There's things you're going to get into it. And Plies, who's also from Florida, from Miami, he said, well, he's from Tampa. Where is he from? He's not from Tampa. He's from Fort Myers. He said, bro, it ain't no way I'm witnessing two iconic females who built something special together, publicly bumping heads. It's cool to have differences, but not publicly. I felt the same way when two of my favorite male Florida artists was doing it. We too real for that. Ain't no way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, well, that is your Yeetie, and we'll keep you guys updated as everything is happening with them. Saucy Santana and JT also made up after a little bit of back and forth of him getting pulled into it as well. And when we come back, we have About Last Night. That's where we discuss what we did last night. And we had a time last night.
Yes, I always have a time every time I'm here.
We were working. We'll talk about it. It's way up.
So, about last night. Here's how it went down.
Last night.
All right, it's way up. I'm here. Chella's here.
It's your girl, Chella H, Big H.
What up?
You got here from Chicago yesterday. So the eclipse was yesterday, and that was a big deal. That's what everybody was talking about. When I tell you every single place I went, people who normally I might see every day but don't say anything to me were like, you ain't going to see the eclipse?
Yeah.
So that was interesting for me. Now, Chella, you were probably on the plane when it was happening.
And everybody was tweaking like, don't get on the plane. I'm like, man, I'm out of here. I ain't think twice about it.
And I saw people posting from the plane, because there were certain people who were able to see it really well from whatever flight that they were on.
Did you see it?
I was working. So here's the crazy part. At the time that the eclipse was happening, I was in the studio still. I had 2 Zooms that I had to do and an interview after work. So I didn't even make it outside. But when I did leave, it was dark out. It looked like it was in the evening.
Yeah.
And so it felt a little weird and creepy, and people kept acting like it was weird energy and things happening. Yeah. And then we see all these arguments breaking out these past couple of days on social media. I mean, we seen, Meek Mill versus Wale yesterday. Yeah. We saw JT versus Young Miami yesterday. Who else was, then we saw J. Cole apologize to Kendrick Lamar, and everybody was weighing in on that. It was just an interesting
it was a lot going on
day yesterday. I felt like it was like that. Then we went to go record 2 episodes of Lip Service last night.
Great.
And one of the conversations that came up, because we were watching as JT and Young Miami, they did end up speaking to each other yesterday, fortunately, and telling each other that they love each other, because sometimes the closer you are to somebody, the more you might argue and fight with them. And it had us thinking, would you want to work with your friends? All right, that's a hard thing to be able to do, but some people prefer hiring friends and family. They're like, you can't trust anybody. You can trust friends and family. And some people feel like, I will never do that again. It ruins your relationship. You might not be friends with that person anymore. Family members fall out over work things. What are your thoughts, Chella?
I say don't hire family. I mean, you want to, because you want the people to build up with you, but it always causes a problem because they don't respect you as much. You can't tell them nothing because they think you're trying to tell them what to do instead of just knowing they role. So I say no.
Yeah, and we want you guys to pick a side about whether or not you would rather work with your friends and family or you would rather not. All right, we're going to pick a side. You know where it gets even more complicated? If you're dating somebody or you're married and you guys have a business together.
Yes, I'm going through that now.
I know, that's why I said it.
Yeah. So that's something we just working on it, but it is difficult because feelings involved, and it's like,
and then if things don't work out, how does that affect the business? You have to think about things like that. So we want to get your opinion or maybe your own experience, right?
Yeah.
Would you want to work with your friends or people close to you, family, or would you prefer to stay away from that? Sometimes those are the people that you can trust the most.
Yes.
But sometimes those are the people that hurt you the most. Okay. 800-292-5150 is pick a side, work with friends and family or not. Let us know what you think. It's way up. 800-292-5150.
It's not just right or wrong. It's about what you believe. It's time to pick a side and stay there.
All right, it's way up. I'm Angela Yee. Chella's here. And today we are talking about whether or not you can work with friends and family. This all comes from us doing lip service last night and watching two friends, Young Miami and JT, have a falling out on Twitter, but then hopefully patch things up at the end after a conversation. And I was saying sometimes it's really hard to work with friends or family because the people who know each other the best tend to be the people who hurt each other the most.
for sure. It is hard.
Now, Chella, you said you're going through something now.
Yeah, we was talking about friends and relationships, and when you go into business with somebody, you got to think it could be ups and downs. So when y'all go through y'all down times, how does that affect the business? So I'm going through that now, but we're going to figure it out.
You know what I've had to learn? That it's okay to do things that aren't long-term business plays. Like, I don't mind doing something like, I'm doing real estate now, and I'm working with my family on doing something with a property that they have. So I know that has a time earmarked for that.
Right.
And so when it comes to like project by project, I'll help you with something. But going into business with somebody, that's a whole nother thing that's supposed to be a long term. And I found that my best business partners have not necessarily been people I'm friends with. I went into business with somebody I'd known from when I was young previously, and it ended disastrously where I will probably never speak to that person again in life.
Yeah.
And so sometimes that can destroy a friendship. It can destroy a relationship. I mean, I knew this person since I was in 5th grade.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And so you don't know how people are. They could be great as a friend, but in business, not so much.
Or they could be great in the beginning.
Right. And I think even hiring your friends, sometimes it's hard for them to take direction from you.
For sure.
All right, so let's see what you guys think. Pick a side. 800-292-5150. Can you work with friends and family? Wood, what do you think? Pick a side.
Nah, that's a no.
Okay, what happened to you?
I had my brother come work with me. It didn't work out. He thought he could do what he wanted to do, basically. I had my cousin work with me. It ain't work out.
Oof, you tried it all.
How you roll, like, yeah, it don't work.
All right, so from now on.
Stay away from your family and your friends.
All right, thanks for calling.
It's easier to let a stranger go. All right.
That's one no. Hey, Taylor, how are you?
I'm fine.
So what do you think about working with friends and family? Is that a yes or a no?
So I think it's a definite yes, because I feel that you're going to rely on your family anyway, like when you're making some really like hard and difficult decisions that's going to affect everyone. But I think it's just about making sure that you can have those hard conversations. I think if you can't be honest with each other and you can't, get through some difficult times, I think it makes it more complicated. But as long as you're ready for that, then I think you're good. Because I think at the end of the day, you're going to come back to them anyway.
Okay. So
well,
she said,
are you speaking from experience, or are you just going off what you would want to do?
So I am speaking from experience. I've had good and bad experiences. It's like a marriage. You're always going to come back to it. So at the end of the day, you're always going to be my family, and I'm always going to come back to you. We have these ups and downs that we have to get to. Why not rely on each other when it comes to money anyway,
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
No, thank you guys.
Hey, Marilyn, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Hi, Key, how are you? Love you.
We love you too, and we are asking you, would you want to work with your friends and family, or you think it's a no-go based on your experience?
It's a no-go based on my experience. I brought a friend on my job to work with me one time, and both of us ended up fighting on the job.
Oh, a fist fight?
Yes, down to the ground.
Oh, my gosh.
Did you win?
my boss, I definitely did win because she underestimated me. But my boss had to come in, part us, and my boss tell her she has to leave, Marilyn has to stay. That's it.
And that's it. So would you ever bring somebody in to work with you again, or that's a wrap?
Never again. It's a wrap. I get burned too many times bringing friends onto my job. But the type of job that I do and I recommend, I cannot. It's a no for me.
All right. Well, thank you for calling and sharing with us. I'm glad you won the fight.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
You too. All right, well, that was Pick a Side, 800-292-5150. Just in case you couldn't get through, you can always leave a message, and we'll play it at the end of the show. And when we come back, we have Your Yeetie, and let's talk about women in music, in entertainment, who are breaking records. That means Nicki Minaj and Beyonce will tell you about it. It's way up.
Yo, she about to blow the lid up off this pot. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that Yeetie. Come and get the tea.
All right, it's way up. I'm here. Chella's here.
It's your girl, Chella H, Big H.
All right, let's get into this. Yeetie. Nicki Minaj, congratulations. She thanked her fans because Pink Friday 2 is the highest grossing tour in female rap history. $34.9 million.
Wow.
From 220,000 tickets sold in its first 17 shows. Congratulations to her.
Yes.
And here is what she had to say.
We made female rap history today with how many sold out shows, how many shows that have grossed over $2 million. So I just want to thank everybody that's been coming out.
All right, that's a big deal. And those
sure.
shows look extra lit.
Yeah, shout out to the Barbs. They be going hard.
Yes, they do. All right, now Beyonce now has more than 100 chart placements on Billboard Hot 100. So congratulations to her. After her new album, Cowboy Carter, debuted, they've added 21 more songs to the charts, and now she has that many, over 100 Hot 100 singles. So congratulations. She is now the 17th artist and only the third woman with this accolade. Ahead of her is Taylor Swift and Nicki Minaj, and Drake leads the way over everybody. Just a FYI. And now Beyonce's daughter, Rumi Carter, is the youngest female artist ever on the Hot 100 as well. So she actually got that record from Blue Ivy, who before that was the youngest. And
keep it in the family.
Yeah, so congratulations to them on that. Such a big deal. The family is getting to this money. And
sure.
You heard the song with Rumi?
Yeah.
We have it? Okay.
Mom, can I hear the bye-bye, please?
That's Protector. Oh, okay.
That's so cute.
And that's the plan. Put the kids on.
Sure.
Everybody's making some money.
Yeah, we were just talking about family business, so in that case, it works.
Yeah, it worked out for them. All right, and speaking of families, Russell Simmons said that he is not fazed over his daughter Aoki dating somebody who is much older. You know, she's 21 and she was dating a 65-year-old Vittorio Asap, the founder of Serafina Restaurant Group. I used to go to Serafina all the time, by the way.
She ain't wrong.
But it looks like they've already ended their relationship. So she's, I guess, saying now that she's, not in a relationship anymore. So grand opening, grand closing. They were in St. Bart's. Russell Simmons said, "I'm not going to kick and scream about her choices. All I can do is offer my advice and unconditional love."
That's what's up.
All right. Well, that is Your Yeetie. And when we come back, we have Under the Radar. These are the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines. They are flying under the radar. Now, imagine you have a black-owned children's bookstore and you end up having to close because you're getting threats from people because they don't like the fact that you have a black-owned children's bookstore. We'll tell you where this happened. It's way up.
The news, I got news. This in the news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
All right, it's way up. I'm here. Chella's here.
It's your girl, Chella H, Big H.
And it's time for these under the radar stories. And I want to start off at Liberation Station Bookstore. This is in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was the first black-owned children's bookstore, and it's now moving out of downtown Raleigh less than a year after it opened. And that is because of the threats that they were getting. Here is what the owner, Victoria Scott Miller, had to say.
We began receiving threats online and also through the phone. And, we sat with it as a family and we said, well, what do we do? I think it is the power and presence of seeing a black family unit doing this work. And I think that that's the threat.
You know what made her say she had to take a break from operating the store for about 2 weeks? She has her husband and her 13-year-old son that are in the store all the time. and she got a disturbing phone call describing what their son was wearing while he was at the shop alone.
Wow.
And
that's
so after
scary.
that, she said, all right, we out. And she said, we took a 2-week break. We had to process. We had to heal. And they said they have to move, unfortunately for them, because they've been targeted. And she frequently changed operating hours so it wouldn't be like a regular schedule. But that's awful.
Yeah, that's terrible.
A Black-owned children's bookstore, and you have such a problem with it. But they said it's not going to be the end. There's a lot of work to be done. The bookstore is operational until April 13th, and then afterwards, that's when they begin their move forward.
Right. That's sad. That
is so sad that is still happening. All right, a Brooklyn charter school is experimenting with a new way to help families. They want to expand the school day. Students can arrive at 7 a.m. and leave anytime before 7 p.m. For free. So it's open 12 hours. So imagine you're working and you're like, man, I can't today pick up my kid until whatever time. So that Brooklyn charter school is now experimenting with this idea as a way to tackle two problems at once, which is a sharp decline in students in urban schools, and families are leaving city public schools around the country, including New York City. And the second is the logistical nightmare that parents face as they try to juggle jobs and childcare.
And they get them extra stuff to do.
Yeah. So, and it can be helpful for everybody.
For sure.
So we'll see how this goes. It's an experiment.
Yeah.
12 hours a day.
We need that in Chicago. For real. Keep them off the streets.
All right. Well, that is your Under the Radar. And, we got the Way Up Mix at the top of the hour. And Latham Thomas, the Glow Maven, is going to be joining us today. Mama Glow. It's Maternal Health Week. And she also has a new space that she's opened up in Williamsburg in Brooklyn. So you can meditate, do yoga, or rent it out for anything that you might need. But she always has such valuable information when it comes to maternal health. It's Way Up.
Way Up.
Just like to talk like they Angela Yee, like they Angela Yee.
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yee T. Way Up.
All right, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. My girl Chella is here with me.
Girl, Chella H, big H.
Hey.
I know that's right.
Period.
And Rihanna is on the cover of Interview magazine. And first of all, she is getting some backlash for this cover. She's dressed as a sexy nun on the cover, and people are upset about some of the imagery, saying, is this blasphemy and things like that. What do you think, Chella, when you take a look at
I think
it?
she look good, and I think she should stay doing her, because that's what's been working.
Right. People do stuff like this, I feel like, when they get dressed up for Halloween and stuff like that. So is that blasphemous when that happens? But, I also feel like when they styled this shoot, they knew it would get backlash from certain people.
And
I'm sure there's a reason for it that we'll find out what it's all about. But this interview took place at 3 a.m. in the morning in Milan. The date was February 26th. And she used the person who interviewed her, Mel Ottenberg, used to be her stylist previously, so they know each other really well. And so they talk about a lot of things. They talk about her relationship with A$AP Rocky and how her team knew that she liked him at the VMAs a long time ago, and how they connected really over fashion. And you can read the full interview, but she talks about how he outdresses her, like when they're flying. She likes to be in sweats, and he'll put on he'll want to be in like a whole Bottega suit.
Right.
She also said that COVID really sped up their relationship. I thought God knew we needed, because we were going to start a family, and had it not been for COVID, we would have taken a lot more time to get comfortable with each other to even know that we were ready. But she said we saw fashion the same, we saw creative the same, we ended up in the same circles a lot. And past that, when we grew up, we ended up supporting each other's brands and products and creative all the time. I would wear his ish, he would show up to my launches, but it wasn't until the end of 2019. She said he's seen me in relationships, I've seen him, we've seen each other outside of relationships. We knew what we're capable of and the trouble that we could bring to each other's lives. We can make or break each other's hearts, and so we started dating with a lot of caution.
That's what's up. I like that.
Yeah, so you can read that full interview. It's out right now. Like we said, her interview is in Interview magazine, and she's on the cover. And she doesn't do a lot of interviews at all right now. So this is definitely something that I know people are going to want to read. All right. And, we've been talking about a lot of women breaking records today. We talked about Nicki Minaj. We talked about Beyonce. But let's talk about NCAA women's basketball. The national championship game broke historic ground with a record-setting 18.7 million viewers.
That's crazy.
That's, as we know, South Carolina beat Iowa 87-75. And that is such a huge deal. I'm hoping that this means major endorsements, major sponsorships for these women. You know, we've been talking about a lot of the standouts from the game. Of course, Coach Dawn Staley. Everybody loves her. They're calling her Louis Vuitton Dawn.
Yeah, because she came in with the jacket.
Yep. She don't play about her fashion.
Yeah.
So shout out to them for that, because I feel like women's sports has been what people have been watching nonstop.
Right.
All right. Well, that is your Yeetie. And Chella is in the building today from Chicago. So when we come back, we're going to talk to you.
Yeah.
And get all of your mix. Sound excited? Come on.
I'm always excited.
All right. I'm wearing some clothing from your store right now.
Yeah.
This shirt is from It's a Vibe.
Yes. And you are wearing it well.
Thank you. It's Way Up.
I do this. Yeah.
Yo.
More Way Up with Angela Yee on now. You know who it is. You know who it is.
Me and Chella in here eating salads. You know what I'm saying?
It's your girl Chella H, Big
I'm
H.
on my healthy-ish.
It's Way Up. My girl Chella is guest hosting with me today from Chicago.
That's right.
So, Chella, we were talking about this yesterday when we were discussing everything with the City Girls. And we were discussing Sexy Red and all the amazing women artists.
Yes.
And I was saying I feel like you were ahead of your time when you first started making music.
For sure, I was. And a lot of people say that. But a lot of people recognize it. They be like, remember you came in being ratchet and everybody was scared. I had so many people like, oh, she's crazy. And look, this is what everybody's doing now.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
So we have fun listening to that anyway, because we were in the car definitely listening to Sexy Red on the way back from lip service.
I love her.
But what I also love is your entrepreneurship spirit.
Yep.
And I want to make sure we talk about your store in Chicago. It's a Vibe.
It's a Vibe, located at 2144 West 95th Street. We have the best drip for men and women, located in the Beverly area. Me and my partner. So we're doing big things.
All right, and the shirt I'm wearing right now is actually from your store. The jeans I had on yesterday are from your store. What do you see being like the fashionable things that people are looking for right now, and when they come looking for things to wear?
Well, the thing about my store is like you don't see it everywhere. You know, so people come in and they just want unique pieces. You might get a top and might not find the pants. You might get a jacket and might not have an outfit, but it's those statement pieces that hit different.
So it's not about outfits so much anymore. It's about a statement piece. Everything doesn't have to match.
Well, you can get the outfits too, but like we just have like unique stuff.
Some
so
custom.
it's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I also want to make sure we talk about this because I've been waiting for you to launch this podcast.
Yes.
Now, previously you had a podcast.
Yep. Well, Straight Drop Uncut with me and my brother Bo Deal. Shout out to him doing big things. And we're talking about putting that back into play. But I'm working on my next podcast called So Who Go Say It. So it's going to be lit. And you know how I am. I'm going to say the truth. That's what I'm known for, being the realest in it. Okay. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to you being my first guest on the show.
When this launches. So who going to say it? I know we were talking about some of the segments that you're planning on having. Give us a little preview.
Well, basically, I'm going to just be talking about stuff that other people won't say. So I can't just give it all away. But
Does
just
that get you in trouble? I want to ask you that because we see this happen and you know a lot of people personally. Yes. You know, you've done songs with a lot of people like Trina. You've done songs
Soulja
with
Boy.
Dirk.
Yeah, Dirk. Yeah. Yeah.
And so does it get you in trouble when you have to say things about people who are your peers?
You know what? I usually don't get in trouble, even if they want to say stuff. People really don't say it to me because I get a pass that other people don't get.
Okay.
Because everybody know my character is solid and they just know I keep it real. So that works for me. So I don't get in trouble.
Malicious intent. And
right.
People know that about you.
They know I mean well.
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much, Chella. You're going to be here all week so people will have a chance to see you.
Yes.
Make sure y'all follow her too because she be posting pictures and you can see what she looks like today from the front and the back. Right.
The real Chella H.
The real Chella H.
Yes.
And you can see the outfit. Is that from It's a Vibe?
Yes, everything I have on is from It's a Vibe.
All right. Well, when we come back, we have Ask Yee. 800-292-5150 is the number. Call us up. Any question you have. We're here to help you out. In the meantime, let's hear Nicki Minaj. We already celebrated her today for having the highest grossing sales of any female rapper on tour. She is selling out, I think, 11 shows so far. So shout out to her. Here's some Nicki Minaj. It's Way Up. 800-292-5150. Call us up for Ask Yee.
Whether it's relationship or career advice, Angela's dropping facts.
So you should know.
This is Ask Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. My girl Chella is here. You ready to help some people?
Let's help.
All right. We have Anonymous caller on the line. Hey, Anonymous.
Hi.
What is your question for Ask Yee?
Does age really play a part with loving someone? Because I'm 24 and my partner is 41.
Well, that's not that bad of a difference. It's, what, 17 years?
Something like that.
How do y'all get along?
Great.
Okay.
Well, that is.
Then I think that should be fine. Like, if y'all get along great. What are your reservations? Is it just his age?
It's more so I don't have the problem with the age. My partner has the problem with the age.
And what is he saying?
He has a child that's like 4 years younger than him.
And so it's just embarrassing, like, because you're too young? Or I mean, look.
It's too late now if y'all already done kicked it out.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are together. Is it causing any issues in the relationship for real?
No.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Well, then it don't seem like you guys really have a problem. Who cares what people have to say? You're legal, and he's only a few years older than you. That's not a big deal. And as long as he treats you well.
Yeah.
And you treat him well.
But if he complaining, then that's a hint that you may should just don't put all your eggs in one basket just in case you got to move around. You know what I'm saying?
Understandable.
Yeah.
So do you on the side? You ain't married.
Why you just gave her that advice?
I mean, I'm just being honest. If he complaining about something like that, how long that's gonna go? So meanwhile, she the one the youngest. Hey, stay out. Summertime coming up, sis. You know.
Okay, she liked that advice.
It's real.
I really do.
You ain't wrong.
Well, there you go.
I put all my eggs in one basket.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
Would you be okay if he found that out and y'all broke up?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
we've been together that long, so.
Is he like a sugar? Is he a sugar daddy for you?
No. He's actually somebody I enjoy spending time with.
Okay, she really likes him.
Well, that's nice, but if he coming up with excuses about, oh, you too young and all that, then look, you already know what it is. So like I said, do you?
Most definitely.
I could understand him having some reservations about that based off of the fact that he has a child that's only 4 years younger than her. And I think that's fine, you know, that he has his small reservations. So I think just take your time with it. That's all. He should take his time. You should take your time. Because you are still young. And if you really like him and enjoy spending time with him, continue to do that. But if it feels like it's too many issues, then you know you could keep it moving.
He been knew that, though. So did he know that already? So don't wait till we start cracking. Now you want to come and do all this reneging. No, this ain't that.
From the start.
Yeah. Girl, bye.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Shella always going to give some different advice.
I mean, it's just the truth.
Okay.
Like,
she already going through her Rolodex right now. Well, that was ASCII, 800-292-5150 in case you couldn't get through. And when we come back, we're kicking off Maternal Health Week. We have Latham Thomas here with us. She is Mama Glow. She's a doula. She trains other doulas. And she also has a space she recently opened up in Williamsburg that's for meditation, relaxation, yoga, whatever it is that you need in your life. It's way up.
Turn it up. You vibing way up with Angela Yee.
Come right back.
More now.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and I like to say this is my friend because she really is. Latham Thomas is here, and we've had her on the show before. Mama Glow Foundation, the Soft Space, which has opened recently. So let's talk about everything that you have going on right now, because Black Maternal Health Week is April 11th to the 17th.
That's right.
And so we have so many things that we need to discuss.
Yeah. I mean, starting with Black Maternal Health Week, you know, this year's theme is Our Bodies Still Belong to Us, which is really important as we think about reproductive justice. We think about the attack on reproductive rights in this country,
right,
and how it disproportionately affects Black women, more specifically, if we don't have access to abortion. So that's one piece of it. And when we think about Black maternal health, people really focus obviously on birth, which is important because, as we know, Black women are more likely to die during childbirth or due to childbirth related causes. When we think about white women and Black women in this country, Black women are 3 times more likely to die. But at the same time, we look at the access to healthcare more generally. We have an attack on reproductive rights. It really impacts us first, right? And the most. And so this year's theme is really about reproductive health more broadly, right? And thinking about the options that we have for care and innovative solutions that we can make to bridge those gaps.
I'm so glad you brought that up first, because I want to talk about this narrative that people have that, oh, Black women are the ones who are having abortions, and
Actually, more white women have them than we do.
Right, which people don't talk about. Yes.
Yeah, and also statistically speaking, more coupled people have abortions than single people. So that's what the data shows. So it's not actually unwed or promiscuous people running the streets or women of the night, the ways that people like to sort of frame it. An abortion is a choice that you make at a particular time in your life.
Right now, I am talking to Latham Thomas, the founder of Mama Glow. She does doula training and she is the Glow Maven. For a lot of reasons, this is also a financial burden for people.
It's a huge financial burden. I think the thing to think about too is these safe harbor states, like New York is one of them. People travel here. Like you said, it is expensive. There are a lot of organizations that help people with that, especially if they're in states where there's bans or laws that are really draconian that make it impossible for them to get care. So making this a criminalized issue versus a private issue between you and your doctor has made it impossible for people to keep themselves safe. But also it means that we're not having less abortions. We're just making it unsafe for people to continue to have abortions.
And even with IVF, that's another thing as we talk about our bodies and family planning that's under attack as well. It's so interesting. So they want you to have the baby, but they also don't want people who want to have babies to have more access to be able to have babies.
Right. And then they want your embryos to be full-fledged humans, which is insane. But
so
then when
that
the
means
baby
child
gets
support for an embryo?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So like we have to think about everything. We have to consider what that means.
And now you also are hosting a Black Maternal Health Week mixer.
Yes.
All right. So
that
talk to me
April
about that
11th.
because so everybody's welcome to
Anybody
this?
can come.
Okay.
We're one stop into Brooklyn on the L train at Bedford Avenue and one block from the station. So you walk around the corner with your heels on. No excuse, right? And we're there and just come meet the team, meet people. I feel like you can meet community members, but also if you're interested in learning about doula training, becoming a doula, having a doula, you can meet amazing doulas there. It'll be a great way to celebrate, I feel like all of the wins that we've had in maternal health. And because, this week is really about embracing what work needs to be done, but also celebrating where we've come from and how much we have accomplished.
Latham Thomas is here. She's the Glow Maven. She's a doula. She does doula training. And when we come back, we'll talk more about some positive things that have happened for women being able to make choices about their own bodies and for maternal health care. It's Way Up.
Come right back.
More now.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Latham Thomas, a.k.a. the Glow Maven, is here with me. Well, let's talk about some of those wins since you brought it up. Has there been any advancements as far as insurance covering doulas?
Yes. So there's some wins in the insurance area. So Medicaid just announced that they will be onboarding doulas to process Medicaid for billing. If you have a doula and you are Medicaid eligible, the doula can submit that claim and be paid and reimbursed through the state of New York. They're in a trial phase now, so doulas are onboarding to that now.
Okay.
Another thing that's already in motion is if you are Medicaid eligible and you live in New York City in the 5 boroughs and you would like a doula, there is a program called the Citywide Doula Initiative. It is funded by the Fund for Public Health, and the Mama Glow Foundation is the largest provider of pro bono doula services through that program. Another program that we have that you are familiar with also is called Love Delivered, in partnership with Carol's daughter and L'Oreal. And so through that program, you can also get access to a doula at no cost. If you are a Black family in one of the major cities, the cities are New York, Atlanta, LA, Miami, NOLA and Baton Rouge, and then DC. So reach out because not everybody has the money to afford, right, to pay out of pocket or to pay out of pocket and then seek insurance. And so some insurance is covering. We do have a doula pilot in place with a major, actually one of the largest insurance provider in the country right now. And it's piloting in New York, Georgia. And then we're going to open into another area in the South soon. And once that program moves through piloting, we'll be able to replicate it throughout the country. But right now it's a benefit for people who are under this insurance company now. So it is happening.
Yeah,
there
and
are a lot
progress can feel slow.
It can.
But this is going to benefit people
down the line.
Down the line.
Exactly.
Right.
Which is so key.
Because like you said, our bodies still belong to us.
Our bodies belong to us.
All right.
And that is the theme.
Listen, is there anything that we didn't mention that you want to make sure we talk about as we're gearing up for Black Maternal Health Week?
We do have the Mama Gladula Homeschool professional training program coming back again this June.
Okay.
It's virtual. If you want to join us, please do.
MamaGlow.com.
MamaGlow.com and sign up. It's going to be an amazing training. You just want this information so that you can receive better health care, understand like what's happening to our bodies. I know people who come because they're pregnant and they just want the information. But also, if you want to be a professional, this is a place to go. This training is the only one of its kind that's embedded in an Ivy League university that's like, centering Black women and marginalized people, and of a Black female-led company. So we're here to really like do the work. So join us. We would love to see you there. But also join us at the Soft Space. If you're in Brooklyn and in person, come see us because there's so much fun stuff happening there. We have stuff for men too.
And I saw that too, men, as far as even mental health.
Yep.
A space to be able to feel comfortable and connect with others.
Exactly.
As well. Just great, important conversations happening. You're always doing the good work.
So are you.
Well, thank you so much again, Latham Thomas. And I know you'll be coming in and checking in with me.
Of course.
Frequently.
Absolutely.
And I'll be at the Soft Space.
Can't wait.
All right. Make sure you guys follow her. She is founder of Mama Glow and the Mama Glow Foundation. You could watch that full interview on my YouTube channel, Way Up With Ye. And when we come back, you guys have the last word.
Pick up the phone.
Tap in. Tap in and get your voice heard.
What the word is.
Here's the last word on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. My girl Chella's here with me all week.
That's right.
Having a good time.
I am.
All right. And thank you guys for joining us today. This is our family up here. And earlier we were talking about whether or not you would work with family. So I ain't working with y'all. Family and friends. And a lot of you weighed in. So, of course, you're going to have the last word about that. Also, shout out to Latham Thomas for joining us. She is a doula trainer. She's a doula herself. And she is the Mama Glow, a.k.a. Mama Glow, as we kick off Maternal Health Week. You can watch that full interview on my YouTube channel, Way Up With Ye. And we'll be back tomorrow. But right now, y'all have the last word.
Hey, Angela, this is to go towards should you hire family and friends? Absolutely. You're going to have problems. You're going to have ups and downs. But when we look at these very old companies, these are family-run companies that have money passed down to generations because they put their family and their friends in positions in the company. And the companies are still running. We need to do that.
I took a lifetime friend and went into real estate business, trying to get her up and started. However, she was looking for me to do the whole job, yet she wanted to reap the benefits. And the same thing with family. I have rental properties and call myself trying to help family out. And to that question, the answer is definitely no.
It's showtime.
Yeah, I'm about to tear it up. You tapped in and Way Up with Angela Yee.
I want it now, ow.